Giant. He doesn't have his hairpiece on those. He's a giant bald man. And reaches out his hand, good to meet you, and it just dwarfs my hand. I mean, just...
For decades, Ron Howard has been one of Hollywood's most respected directors, known for his calm demeanor, professionalism, and ability to bring out the best in actors. He's worked with countless stars, from child actors to Oscar winners, and earned a reputation for being easygoing and collaborative. But even the most patient director has limits, and Ron Howard has admitted there was one star who pushed him to the edge like no other. The identity of this actor surprised many fans. Unlike the usual Hollywood feuds that dominate tabloids, this wasn't about scandal or personal attacks, it was about clashes on set, creative differences, and a personality that simply didn't mesh with Howard's approach. The tension wasn't hidden. Those closest to the production could feel it, and it sometimes threatened to derail the project itself. Ron Howard's candid revelation sheds light on a side of Hollywood most audiences never see: the behind-the-scenes friction that can make or break a film. It's a reminder that even in an industry fueled by fame, talent, and ego, collaboration requires patience, compromise, and respect. While Howard maintains professionalism with nearly every actor he meets, this one individual tested the limits of his patience and left a lasting impression. Fans have long speculated about who could have sparked such frustration, and now, finally, the story is out. It's a rare glimpse into Hollywood's inner workings, where even the most legendary director isn't immune to the challenges of working with strong personalities. The truth may surprise you, and it proves that behind the glamour and accolades, the making of a movie is often a delicate balance of personalities, egos, and human emotion. Ron Howard has been Hollywood royalty for decades, but even legends have their breaking points. Known for his calm demeanor, meticulous work ethic, and the ability to coax brilliant performances from actors of every generation, Howard seems like the last person who would harbor true animosity toward a co-star. Yet, behind the scenes of one particular production, he found himself exasperated, frustrated, and by his own admission, completely fed up. Howard's career has been built on collaboration. From Happy Days to Apollo 13, he has worked with stars of every temperament, earning a reputation for patience and professionalism. He listens, adapts, and finds solutions where others see conflict. That's why it shocked many in Hollywood when he revealed there was a star he simply could not tolerate. It wasn't a clash of talent or skill. It was a personality that grates, a presence that disrupts, and an unwillingness to respect the collaborative process. For Howard, who thrives on teamwork, this was intolerable. The tension on set was palpable. Crew members noticed the subtle sighs, the terse instructions, and the rare flashes of visible frustration from a man usually composed. What made the situation worse was that the star in question was talented, charismatic, and beloved by fans. In theory, this should have been a dream collaboration. In reality, every interaction became a test of patience. Meetings that should have been straightforward turned into negotiations. Scenes that should have flowed felt like constant battles of wills. Howard found himself walking the line between professionalism and exasperation, striving to finish the project without letting personal feelings compromise the final product. Howard's revelation was striking not because it was scandalous, but because it was humanizing. Even the most seasoned, respected director encounters personalities that challenge their limits. Hollywood often romanticizes tension on set as part of the creative process, but Howard's story demonstrates that friction can be draining, real, and sometimes unavoidable. It also sheds light on the delicate balance required to make a movie. Talent alone isn't enough. Respect, communication, and collaboration are essential, and when one element is missing, even a director of Howard's caliber struggles. What adds intrigue to the story is the mystery surrounding the star. Fans speculated for years, whispering names at screenings, on social media, and in interviews. Unlike typical Hollywood feuds, this wasn't about gossip, scandal, or drama. It was about personality and work ethic. Howard's candor in sharing the experience reveals an honesty rarely seen in an industry that prefers to keep conflicts behind closed doors. For Howard, this one star left a lasting impression, not because of bad acting, but because of the sheer challenge of working with someone whose approach clashed fundamentally with his own. The incident also highlights Howard's professionalism. Despite his frustration, he completed the project, maintained composure in public, and ensured that the final product reflected the quality he always demands. He didn't publicly attack the actor, didn't allow personal feelings to dominate, and didn't let the tension compromise his vision. That's why Howard is considered one of the most respected directors in Hollywood. He balances human emotion with the discipline needed to create something lasting. This story is more than just a Hollywood anecdote. It's a lesson in patience, collaboration, and the realities of working with strong personalities. It reminds fans that even those who seem infallible like Ron Howard face challenges, irritations, and frustrations on set. It also proves that talent and charm alone do not guarantee harmony, and that the most successful productions depend as much on mutual respect as on skill. By sharing this rare glimpse into his personal experience, Howard humanizes himself and offers insight into the unseen challenges of filmmaking. The story of the one star he despised is a reminder that even legends face trials, and that navigating personalities is as crucial to Hollywood as directing cameras or writing scripts. It is a story of restraint, professionalism, and the often hidden tensions that define the making of movies we love. The identity of the star who tested Ron Howard's patience was a subject of speculation for years, whispered in Hollywood circles but rarely confirmed. What made the situation so remarkable wasn't just the clash of personalities. It was the sheer contrast between the star's charisma and Howard's methodical approach. On paper, the collaboration seemed perfect. A seasoned actor with undeniable talent, paired with a director known for guiding performers to their best work. In reality, every interaction became a delicate negotiation, a balancing act that left both parties frustrated and exhausted. Howard's frustration wasn't born of ego or pettiness. It was the result of repeated clashes in creative vision, work ethic, and temperament. The actor, while undeniably skilled, approached the craft with a level of spontaneity that clashed with Howard's meticulous planning. Scenes that were carefully storyboarded and rehearsed would suddenly shift, requiring adjustments on the fly. For most directors, this could be handled with flexibility. For Howard, whose hallmark is preparation and precision, the unpredictability was draining. It wasn't incompetence, it was a fundamental mismatch in approach. Behind the scenes, tensions escalated quietly but visibly. Crew members reported whispered frustrations, subtle sighs, and the occasional pointed remark, all unusual for a director celebrated for patience and composure. Howard, ever the professional, never let these moments disrupt the overall production. But the energy on set was undeniably charged. What might have been seen by outsiders as a minor personality clash became, in the controlled environment of filmmaking, a test of endurance for everyone involved. Despite the challenges, Howard remained committed to the project. He understood that personal frustration could never overshadow the importance of the film itself. He worked tirelessly to channel the tension into constructive results, coaching the actor, adapting shots, and finding compromises that preserved both his vision and the star's performance. The process required constant attention, diplomacy, and emotional energy that few outside the industry could appreciate. It was a reminder that filmmaking is not only an art, but a negotiation, a dance of personalities, egos, and visions that must align to create something cohesive. What made the story even more compelling was Howard's reflection on the experience. Unlike the Hollywood gossip often circulated to sensationalize conflict, Howard framed the story as a lesson in human complexity. He acknowledged the actor's talent, charm, and dedication, while also admitting the limits of his own patience. This transparency is rare. Most conflicts in the industry are swept under the rug, turned into rumor, or exaggerated for publicity. Howard, by contrast, offered a candid glimpse into the challenges of collaboration, showing that even the most experienced professionals face moments of exasperation. The experience also reinforced Howard's reputation as a director who values respect and structure above all. While he admired talent, he recognized that raw skill alone doesn't guarantee harmony on set. Collaboration requires alignment of vision, discipline, and mutual understanding. Without it, even a talented actor can inadvertently create tension, slowing the process and straining relationships. Howard's candid acknowledgement of his struggle highlights both his humility and his high standards, offering insight into the often invisible dynamics that make or break a film. For the actor in question, the experience was a learning opportunity as well. Howard's patience and insistence on professionalism provided a framework for growth, showing the importance of adaptability, preparation, and respect for the collaborative process. While the tension made headlines and whispers, the project ultimately succeeded because Howard's leadership transformed potential conflict into performance. Howard's reflections offer a rare, behind-the-scenes perspective, reminding fans and aspiring filmmakers alike that the magic of movies is not just on screen, it's forged in the often messy, always human interactions between directors and actors. It's a testament to patience, resilience, and the delicate art of navigating personalities while chasing artistic excellence. The tension on set reached its peak during a particularly critical scene. The actor, known for his charisma and improvisational flair, began deviating from Howard's carefully planned vision, inserting lines, gestures, and timing that clashed with the director's meticulous storyboard. For most performers, spontaneity is celebrated. For Howard, who values precision and cohesion, it was frustrating. Every adjustment required rewiring camera angles, rescheduling shots, and coaching supporting actors, creating a ripple effect that tested Howard's patience to its limits. Crew members recall that the usually serene director would occasionally pause, take a deep breath, and calmly realign the team. Howard's professionalism never wavered outwardly, but internally he admits the experience was draining. For a man whose career has been defined by preparation, foresight, and collaborative harmony, this unpredictability challenged the very foundation of his working style. What could have been a minor quibble became a delicate, balancing act, respecting the actor's talent while maintaining the integrity of the project. It wasn't personal animosity that fueled Howard's frustration, it was the disruption of process. Directors like Howard thrive on structure, and the film's success depended on every component working in concert. The star's unpredictability introduced a level of chaos that required constant vigilance, negotiation, and problem-solving. Howard had to find ways to harness the actor's energy without compromising the film, turning what could have been a disaster into a controlled performance. In hindsight, he recognizes that this struggle brought out the best in both of them. It forced the actor to respect the process, and it reminded Howard of the delicate art of compromise. Behind the scenes, the dynamics were even more complex. Other cast members felt the tension, sometimes unsure how to navigate between the director's expectations and the star's improvisational choices. Crew morale occasionally wavered, but Howard's steady leadership kept the production on track. His ability to channel frustration into guidance rather than confrontation became a masterclass in professional patience. Observers note that many directors would have lost their temper or clashed openly. But Howard's restraint ensured that the project remained intact and cohesive. Howard later reflected on the experience in interviews and memoirs, framing it as a lesson in human behavior rather than a tale of grudges. He acknowledged the star's brilliance, charisma, and undeniable screen presence, but also admitted the difficulty of collaborating with someone whose approach fundamentally conflicted with his own. Howard's transparency offers a rare insight into the behind-the-scenes reality of filmmaking. Even the most celebrated directors encounter personalities that challenge their patience and push them to adapt. Interestingly, the tension also revealed mutual respect in unexpected ways. While Howard initially struggled, he came to appreciate the actor's creativity, understanding that the unpredictability could yield moments of magic when harnessed correctly. The actor, in turn, began to recognize the value of structure, timing, and collaboration. What started as frustration evolved into a cautious synergy, demonstrating that conflict, when managed effectively, can strengthen a project rather than undermine it. The story underscores a fundamental truth about Hollywood: talent and charisma alone do not guarantee smooth collaboration. The delicate interplay between vision, execution, and personality determines whether a production succeeds or falters. Howard's experience reminds audiences that what appears effortless on screen is often the result of navigating tension, compromise, and negotiation behind the camera. The actor who once tested his limits became, in retrospect, a catalyst for growth and adaptation. By the time filming concluded, Howard had not only completed the project successfully, but also gained a renewed appreciation for the challenges of directing strong personalities. He emerged with a deeper understanding of collaboration, patience, and the fine balance required to transform potential conflict into cinematic brilliance. The tale of the one star he despised is less about hatred and more about the human complexities that shape art, showing that even in Hollywood, friction can be a force for creation. Ultimately, the story offers fans and aspiring filmmakers a glimpse into the hidden dynamics of the industry, proving that even legends like Ron Howard face trials, tensions, and personalities that push them to the edge, and that navigating these challenges with grace and discipline is what separates good directors from truly great ones. By the time filming wrapped, Ron Howard had navigated one of the most challenging experiences of his directing career. What had begun as tension and frustration gradually transformed into a study in patience, resilience, and adaptability. Howard emerged from the project not only with a completed film, but with deeper insight into the art of collaboration and the complexities of working with exceptionally strong personalities. The experience reinforced a truth he had long known. Filmmaking is as much about managing human dynamics as it is about cameras, scripts, or lighting. The actor who had pushed Howard to his limits left a lasting impression, not because of incompetence or failure, but because of the very qualities that made him extraordinary: creativity, charisma, and a willingness to take risks. In hindsight, Howard realized that the initial exasperation stemmed from a clash of working styles rather than a clash of talent. The star's improvisational energy had disrupted the director's carefully structured plans, but it also injected life into the scenes, giving the film a vibrancy that might have been impossible under rigid control. What was once seen as a problem became, in retrospect, an unexpected asset. Howard's reflection on the experience emphasizes a rare honesty in Hollywood. Most industry stories about difficult stars are told in whispers, exaggerated or sensationalized. Howard, however, frames it as a learning moment. He acknowledges the frustration, the late nights of problem-solving, and the constant need to adapt, but he also credits the actor with teaching him flexibility, compromise, and the power of harnessing raw energy. It's a reminder that conflict, when managed thoughtfully, can fuel creativity rather than destroy it. The lessons extended beyond the set. Howard's approach to collaboration, communication, and empathy deepened as a result. He came to appreciate that every actor is different, and that leadership sometimes requires not only vision but patience, understanding, and the ability to channel strong personalities toward a shared goal. He also recognized the importance of maintaining composure under pressure, showing grace in moments when frustration threatens to boil over. This experience, challenging as it was, strengthened his leadership and contributed to his reputation as one of Hollywood's most respected directors. Interestingly, the tension also shaped the relationship between Howard and the actor in subtle ways. Mutual respect grew once the initial clashes were navigated. The star began to understand the value of structure, preparation, and the collaborative process. Howard, in turn, learned to embrace the actor's unpredictability as a source of creative inspiration. The friction that had once threatened to derail the project became a catalyst for performance, innovation, and growth on both sides. The experience also gave Howard a renewed perspective on patience and empathy. He realized that in Hollywood, talent alone is insufficient. Understanding personality, navigating differences, and cultivating mutual respect are equally essential. The star he despised was never despised for lack of skill, but for the challenge posed by a mismatch of approaches, a challenge that ultimately led to growth, compromise, and, in Howard's own words, a better understanding of people and the art of collaboration. Today, Howard rarely speaks of the incident in detail, but when he does, he frames it with reflection rather than bitterness. He emphasizes the lessons learned, the personal growth achieved, and the ways in which the clash ultimately strengthened the film. The story serves as a testament to his professionalism and emotional intelligence. He turned frustration into insight, and conflict into creative opportunity. In the end, the tale of the one star Ron Howard despised is less about resentment and more about the realities of creative collaboration. It highlights the delicate balance between strong personalities, the importance of flexibility, and the ways in which tension can foster excellence. For aspiring filmmakers, actors, and fans alike, it is a reminder that even the most seasoned and revered figures face challenges, and that true leadership lies in transforming conflict into art, maintaining patience under pressure, and ultimately seeing the value in every human contribution, no matter how challenging it may seem.